I'm sorry, were you talking about scotch and beer? I'm too busy oogling. This is, oh my gosh, look at her. Her name is Marsha. She is 3 months old and adoptable from the Seattle Humane Society. And we are raising money this weekend by drinking scotch and beer. Rick Edwards, man, his vest says Master of Scotch. I'm Master of Puppies. Let's bring the two together.
I like it.
Right?
Let's do it.
So now, I know nothing about scotch. Nothing about nothing. So where do I start? For someone that's never done anything scotch before, we got different samples. What's the difference between all of them?
We've got just the whiskey for you. A great introductory scotch is the Glenlivet Founders Reserve. It's actually created from first fill bourbon barrels. So it's a nice bridge to bridge that gap between a bourbon drinker into a single malt scotch consumer.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's also it begs to be made in cocktails, so, such things as like an old fashioned or the scotch and soda highball.
Got it. Okay, and then so when we move on from the Glenlivet.
Yes, the Glenlivet.
The Glenlivet. What's our next step?
The next whiskey we're going to be sampling tonight is Aberlour, and it rhymes with happy hour.
Yes, it does.
Commonly mispronounced, but Aberlour is what we call a double matured whiskey. So it's being matured in both bourbon barrels from America and Spanish Oloroso sherry cask from Spain.
So it's fancy.
So it's like a liquid fig Newton. It's beautiful pastry, vanilla, figs, dates, and raisins. Really nice, chewy whiskey. So that one just sits on your palate.
I like that, liquid fig Newton, because I can picture what that tastes like, and it sounds delicious. Okay, when we move on from the Aberlour.
Aberlour,
rhymes with happy hour. What do we got?
This is Chivas Regal Mizunara. Now, Mizunara is a Japanese word that means water and oak. The Mizunara oak in Japan, it grows very, very twisted and knotty and not knotty, but you know, lots of knots. Really hard to work with that wood. So the conversation that the whiskey has with the Japanese oak in here really gives it some beautiful flavors, almost like a bergamot, sandalwood. You're going to get some beautiful eucalyptus, spearmint, peaches, pears, apples. Fantastic Chivas Regal Mizunara. We do have a nice heavy portion of it's blended Scotch whiskey, so the Longmorn gets a lot of that Japanese oak as well.
You know, there's a lot that goes into obviously Scotch and beer, and you can learn all about it from the masters. And again, help out puppies like Marsha too. The Seattle Scotch and Beer Festival is happening in Fremont all this weekend. I'll put all the details up on our website at q13fox.com/Seattle. And then coming up next hour too, we're going to have a little Scotch whiskey competition between two brands and themselves. And of course, we'll have more Marsha. Marsha, you want to send it back to the studio? Say, guys, back to you. Someone adopts me.
Marsha.
She's so
adorable.
little, she doesn't even know her name yet.
Oh, such a cutie.